Hello and welcome to Get Started Fast with Avid Sibelius for Educators, presented by Avid Blogs. My name is Katie Wardrobe, and in this 8-part series we'll look at the special education features that Sibelius offers teachers and their students. In this lesson, we'll focus on how to create musical graphics from your own scores that you and your students can use in worksheets, classroom resources and essays. We'll also look at how to import pictures and other graphics directly into your Sibelius scores. You can simply and easily create a graphic from your score, which can be pasted into other software programs, such as Word, Pages, PowerPoint Keynote, or interactive whiteboard software. This technique is perfect when you need to quickly add a musical example to an essay, or to a worksheet or a presentation. First of all, create the musical example in Sibelius, and make sure you're in page view rather than panorama view. There are two ways to create your graphic. The first is to make a selection in your score and then type Alt+G or Opt+G on a Mac. A box will appear around your selection and you can adjust its size by dragging the handles in or out. Make sure the box is surrounding everything you want to capture and then type Ctrl+C or Command+C on Mac to copy it. Open your word processor or other program and then type Ctrl+V or Command+V on Mac to paste the example into your document. The music will appear where the cursor was. You can then resize the image by dragging the corners. The second option is to make sure you have nothing selected, and then press Alt+G or Opt+G on a Mac. Once you've done that, your mouse pointer will turn into a crosshair and you can click and manually drag a box around the bar, phrase, a single note, or another musical element in your score. You can hold down Ctrl or Command while you drag the left or right ends of the box to force it to snap to a bar line. Like before, you can then copy it and paste it into your destination software. To clear the graphic selection, simply press the Escape key. If you're capturing an example from a score that has only one stave, the example will look great straight away. However, if you're taking an example from a larger score, you might end up with bar lines that extend past the staves and go nowhere like this example. You can fix this by viewing the instrumental part first. Click on the Parts menu and select the instrument from the list. Then go ahead and capture the image using one of the methods described earlier. This time, the bar lines were finished cleanly. If you'd like to capture an example from 2 or more staves from a larger score, you can use the Focus on Staves feature to isolate the ones that you need. To do this, select a bar in one of the staves you want to capture, and then Control-click or Command-click on any additional staves. By Control-clicking or Command-clicking, you can select any of the staves in your score, even those that are not adjacent to one another. Next, go to the Layout tab and click on Focus on Staves. Sibelius will show you only the staves that you selected. You can then capture the image as before. Click on Focus on Staves again to return to the full score view. If you want to capture an example from the middle of a system, you might notice that you'll end up with no clef or key signature at the beginning of the example. You can fix this by making a temporary change to your score layout. First, press the Escape key to make sure you have nothing selected. Locate the bar you want at the beginning of your musical example and select the bar line at the end of the previous bar. Press the Enter key or Return on a Mac to add a system break, and the bar will be forced down to the beginning of the next system. Now when you capture your image, the example will include the clef and key signature. You can delete the layout change when you're done by selecting the system break icon and pressing Delete. If you can't see this icon, go to the View tab and turn on Layout Marks. If you find that the resolution of your graphics is not high enough, that is, they are appearing pixelated, there are a couple of things you can do. First, go to File, Preferences, and choose Other. Under Paste Graphics into Other Programs, you can select a higher DPI setting from the drop-down menu here. You can also create higher quality graphics by zooming in on your score before capturing an image. Use the slider here to increase the zoom level, or use the shortcut Ctrl+ on a PC or Command+ on Mac. Once you've increased the zoom level, go ahead and capture the image as before. There are times when you may want to export a graphic as a separate file, not just copy it to the clipboard and paste it straight into another program. This is especially useful when you want to save individual graphics from your score to send to a publisher or graphic designer who requires the graphic in a format such as PDF, EPS or TIFF. To export a graphic of a specific part of your score, select the area as we did before, and then go to File, Export, Graphics. Choose the graphic format from the drop-down menu at the top, name the file, and select the saving location. Then click on Export. You can also opt to export one or more systems from your score. Do that by first making a regular system selection of one or more staves, and then go to File, Export, Graphics, and choose Selected Systems in the Pages options. If you want to export the entire score, there's no need to select anything first. Simply go to File, Export, Graphics, and choose All. You can also select a specific page or a range of pages to export. Instead of exporting graphics from your score into another program, you may want to import graphics into a score instead. There are a couple of ways you can do this. One option is to locate the graphic in Windows Explorer or the Mac Finder and drag it straight into your score. Sibelius will accept common graphic file formats, including PNG, JPEG, TIFF and GIF. Once the graphic is in your score, you can adjust it in a number of ways. You can move it by dragging it to a new position. You can also alter the shape or size of the graphic. Select it first, and then drag one of the handles in or out. If you want to ensure that you maintain the proportions of the image, hold down the Shift key while you drag a handle. The second way to import a graphic is to go to the Notations tab, choose Graphic, and select the file from your computer's hard drive. Additional ways to edit your graphic include rotating the image by clicking and dragging on the handle that extends out from the centre. You can crop the image by holding down Ctrl or Command on a Mac while you drag a handle. And on the Notations tab there are a couple of other options. You can flip the image horizontally or vertically using these buttons. You can also make adjustments to the image colour and opacity in the Adjust Colour dialog. That wraps up the fourth Get Started Fast with Avid Sibelius for Educators lesson. In the next lesson, we'll look at how you can use the Ideas panel as a digital notation scrapbook to save and reuse snippets of music. To watch the entire Get Started Fast with Sibelius for Educators series, join us at avid.com/Sibelius Educators.